Friends, me Sanita and I am back with another new topic, that is it is understanding the near death experiences. I don't know how many of you are acquainted with this term near death experiences, but it has been found that many people in this world experience this near death experiences where they feel that they have died, but actually their brain and heart have not died yet, but they feel the experiences that how people feel after death, or how what happens after death. So today I thought of including this article as it felt to me quite interesting and mysterious, and also it can be included in these scientific articles. So here let's go through the article. Imagine a dream in which you sense an intense feeling of presence that rests most real experiences in your life as you float away from your body and look at your own face. You have a twinge of fear as memories of life flash by, but then you pass a transcendent threshold and are overcome by a feeling of bliss. Although contemplating death elicits fear for many people, these positive features are reported in some of the near-death experiences, also known as NDE, undergone by those who reached the brink of death only to recover. Accounts of near-death experiences are remarkably consistent in character and content. They include intensely vivid memories involving bodily sensations that give a strong impression of being real, more real even than memories of true events. The content of those experiences famously includes memories of one's life flashing before the eyes, and also the sensation of leaving the body, often seeing one's own face and body, blissfully traveling through a tunnel towards a light and feeling at one with something universal. Not surprisingly, many have seized on near death experiences as evidence of life after death, heaven, and existence of God. The descriptions of leaving the body and blissful unity with the universal seem almost scripted from religious beliefs about souls leaving the body at death and ascending towards the heavenly bliss. But these experiences are shared across a broad range of cultures and religions, so it's not likely that they are all reflections of specific religious expectation. Instead, that commonality suggests that near-death experiences might arise from something more fundamental than religious or cultural expectation. Perhaps near-death experiences reflect in how brain functions as we approach death. Many cultures employ drugs as a part of religious practice to induce feelings of transcendence that have similarities to near-death experiences. If NDEs are based in brain biology, perhaps the action of those drugs that causes NDE-like experiences can teach us something about the NDE state. Of course, studying NDE has significant technical hurdles. There is no way of examining the experience in animals, and rescuing a patient at death's door is far more important than interviewing them about their near-death experiences. Moreover, many of the drugs used to induce religious states are illicit, which would complicate any efforts to study their effects. Although it's impossible to directly examine what happens to the brain during NDEs, the story collected from them provides a rich source of linguistic analysis. In a fascinating new study, NDE stories were compared linguistically with the anecdotes of drug experiences in order to identify a drug that causes an experience most like a NDE. What is remarkable is how precise a tool this turned out to be. Even though the stories were open-ended subjective account often given many years after the fact, the linguistic analysis focused down not only to a specific class of drugs but also to a specific drugs as causing experiences very similar to near-death experiences. This new study compared the stories of 625 individuals who reported NDEs with the stories of more than 15,000 individuals who was taken off 165 different psychoactive drugs. When those stories were linguistically analyzed, similarities were found between recollections of near-death and drug experiences for those who had taken a specific class of drug. One drug in particular, that is ketamine, led to the experiences very similar to NDE. This may mean that near-death experience may reflect changes in the same chemical system in the brain that is targeted by the drugs like ketamine. The researchers drew on a large collection of NDE stories They had collected many years to compare NDEs with drug experiences. The researchers took advantage of a large collection of drug experiences anecdotes found in Eroid experiences. Was an open source collection of accounts describing first-hand experiences with drugs and various substances. In this study, the recollections of those who experienced NDE and those who took the drugs were compared linguistically. Their stories were broken down into individual words and words were sorted according to their meaning and counted. In this way, researchers were able to compare the number of times words having the same meaning were used in each story. They used this numerical analysis of story content to compare the content of drug-related and near-death experiences. Each of the drugs included in the comparisons could be categorized by their ability to interact with a specific neurochemical system in the brain, and each drug fell into specific category. Few similarities were found when the accounts of one stimulant drug were compared with another within the same stimulant drugs class, and few if any similarities were found between the accounts of stimulant drug experiences and NDE. The same was true for depressants. The stories associated with hallucinogens, however, were very similar to one another, as were stories linked to the antipsychotics and deliriums. When recollections of drugs effects were compared with NDE, stories about hallucinations and psychedelics had the greatest similarities to NDE, and the drug that scored the highest relatively to NDEs was the hallucinogen ketamine. The word most strongly represented in descriptions of both NDE and ketamine experiences was reality, highlighting the sense of presence that accompanies NDE. High among the list of words common to both experiences were those related to perception, the body, emotion, and transcendence. The researchers then sorted words into 5 principal groups according to their common meaning. Those principal components dealt with the perception and consciousness, drug dependency, negative sensations, drug preparation, and also a group that includes disease state, religion, and ceremony. NDEs reflected 3 of these components related to perception and consciousness, religion, and ceremony. Disease state and drug preparation. The component related to perception and consciousness was labeled as look, shelf, and included terms such as color, vision, pattern, reality, and face. The component disease or religion contained elements such as anxiety, ceremony, consciousness, and self-awareness. Component related to preparation, that is make or stuff, contained elements such as prepare, boil, smell, and ceremony. Again, ketamine had the greatest overlap with NDEs in this type of analysis. Other drugs that cause similar experiences to NDE include LSD and N,N-dimethyltryptamine (DMT). The famous hallucinogen LSD was as similar as ketamine to NDE when the near-death event was caused by cardiac arrest. DMT is a hallucinogen found in South American plants and used in shamanistic rituals. It caused experiences like NDE and is also made in the brain, leading to speculations that endogenous DMT may explain NDEs. It is not known, however, whether levels of DMT change in a meaningful way in the human brain near death, so its role in the phenomena remain controversial. This study has significant weakness because it is based on purely subjective reports, some taken decades after the event. Similarly, there is no way of substantiates the accounts in Erovid collections, as there is no way to prove any individual took the drug any claimed or believed that they were taking. This makes it all the more remarkable that linguistic analysis of stories derived in this manner could discriminate among different drug classes in their similarities. Linking NDE and experience of taking ketamine is provocative, yet it is far from conclusive that both are because of same chemical events in the brain. The types of studies needed to demonstrate this hypothesis, such as measuring neurochemical changes in the critically ill, would be both technically and ethically challenging. The authors propose, however, a practical applications of these relations because near-death experiences can be transformational and have profound and lasting effects on those who experience them, including a sense of fearlessness about death. The authors propose that ketamine could be used therapeutically to induce an NDE-like state in terminally ill patients as preview of what they might experience so as to relieve their anxieties about death. those benefits need to be weighed against the risk of potential ketamine side effects, which include pain, feelings of panic, or extreme anxiety effects that could defeat the purpose of intervention. More important, this study helps decide the psychological manifestations of dying. That knowledge may ultimately contribute more to alleviating fear of this inevitable transition than those of any drugs. So here in this article, mainly the scientists or researchers, what they have tried is they have tried to connect experience this near death state uh, by pushing in some, by taking in some drugs like the LSD and some hallucinogenic drugs pushed into the patients, and their experiences was collected, that how they felt. So the validity or the real validity of these statements can't, is not, still not proven. These are under research. I thought, I hope you guys is like the video. So please subscribe to our channel for more such mysterious videos. Like the video and share among your friends. Thank you.